Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Tug. My name is Wellington Gomez. I am your host, and I'm here with a very special person. I know you see her, but before that, hi.
Hi, baby. I'm Edward underscore ENT. Our sister host Kevin Kleiner is not here today, but
Today, we have a very special episode. We're launching a new segment on our podcast called Untucked, an interview series. So, we already, we always see Drag Race Untucked episodes where the queens go back and just let it all out. Where we thought that in our podcast we wanted to have an interview series where the queens come on here and just talk to us, a no shade, no tea conversation about life outside of drag, after the show, and everything in between. So this is Untucked with Spankie Jackson. Spankie, welcome.
Thank you so much. Good morning or evening, I should say. I don't even know
Right.
where I am. I don't even know where you guys are.
you
I
have the
mean,
time.
let's just do it. It's daytime. Good. Hello.
Hello, hello. How are you? How's everything?
I'm so good. Thank you. Thank you. So, yeah, doing great.
We're so happy that you were able to join us today. Well, let's just get straight into the conversation. I know all of our listeners already know who you are, Spankie Jackson, the winner of season 2 Drag
Period.
Race Down Under, reigning
Thank-
queen. How does that feel, Spankie?
Look, it's amazing. I honestly never even believed that this would happen. So everything that has happened since winning has been just such a privilege. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like coming from where I come from, a little small country town to, growing up here to thinking, feeling like the outcast to,
Mhm.
moving to Australia and kind of discovering drag and all of that, and then having to move home and thinking that everything was over, to standing next to incredible performers like Hannah and Queen, and then being given the crown. I mean, it's the things dreams are made of, really, isn't it?
Earns,
Right.
baby, earns.
I agree with you. I agree with you. And like I said, Spankie, this interview series is called Untucked, and we wanted to talk to all of the queens and have our listeners see a different side of you guys that they've never seen before. So with that
Well,
said, I
I'm
want
in my bathrobe, so just saying.
it's already a different site. It's
Setting the
already a
tone.
different site. No, but I love it because we really don't want any of the queens that come on here on Untucked to be actually in drag. Like this is Untucked,
Yeah.
This is
Great.
so we wanted to just to be raw.
Hang
We
it
love
out.
raw.
Let it hang out. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Cheers to that.
So let's take it all the way back to the beginning. Did you put
Yeah.
yourself in drag? Did someone put you in drag? Talk to us about the first time that you were in drag.
Oh, okay. So, well, drags really started for me very young. So I didn't know what it was at the time, but I always just loved women's clothes. Like
Right.
I
Yeah.
felt, especially growing up in a rural town, and I was quite flamboyant. And when you go to the shop, there's all the boys' stuff was always khaki green or navy blue, brown, grey. Whereas the girls' section was always, fluorescent pink and orange, and it was just like a sea of color.
Yeah.
And all the sparkles and all of that kind of stuff. But I did drag, like I said, started early. So I remember being the tooth fairy at primary school. I used to steal my dad's business shirts, and I used to pretend to be the tooth fairy when I was in primary
I love
school.
that.
Then in I think you called it middle school, but like intermediate, then we had like a book day, and I left the house as a pirate, and then ended up as a putting on a dress and going to school just because.
Yeah.
And then I did my first drag show for my high school at lunchtime at a lunchtime
Oh.
concert in rural New Zealand. I did "I Will Survive" in the most hideous warehouse red wig and a checkered purple skirt, and then my really first time from that point was I was 14, and we did a production of Ladies' Night, which is a New Zealand play, basically the same story as the Full Monty. Five
Okay.
unemployed guys want to strip, except I played the gay character who was no good at stripping and ended up hosting the show as a drag queen. And
Love it.
that is where it began.
Opportunity knocks and you took it.
Wow. Also, like
Yeah.
the fact that you were so courageous to get into drag in high school, I could
14.
listen. I was so deep in the closet. I don't think you can even tell me to put makeup in high school.
Makeup, let alone bend my wrist. Like,
Like,
like that was a whole different story. I mean, you just touched on it right now, and I can connect a lot with it. So you said on your Meet the Queens for Drag Race Down Under that there was only one gay bar in your town. So you as a queer person, how was that challenging, and how did you overcome those challenges?
I mean, the thing was, is I was very young when I was growing up here. So, I mean, I was going to the gay bar, and I really shouldn't have been going to the gay bar, if you know what I mean. I'm just saying, we all know, all the gays know, because we've all been there.
That's called the Tuck After Dark. We'll do another episode for those type of stuff. You okay?
Okay, great. So I didn't really have that place because I was too young to kind of be going to the clubs properly. But luckily I found the theatre. So the theatre gave me a space to kind of be myself, find myself, be around other gay people or trans people or, you know, lesbians, whatever. The theatre is such a melting pot of creatives as well. So, and they're generally really open-minded. So thank God I found that place. If I hadn't have found that place, I don't think we'd be sitting here. Yeah.
Right. I agree. Let's get into some down under stuff.
Go.
Also, your season was also the first season of Down Under that I watched. So you were my introduction to Down Under.
You're not the only one, girl.
After watching your season, it made me go back to watch season 1, which was full of drama. And
yeah,
we'll touch on it a little bit. But I wanted to ask you, on the first episode of Down Under, you really thought there was a chance you could go home. And I saw it in your face that you really thought you were going to go home. And then you ended up winning the entire show.
Gag.
How did it feel to be up for elimination day 1 at Drag Race?
Oh, I was devastated. Like, I was devastated. And, like, I always knew going into this that my one weakness was going to be the sewing challenge. Like, everything else I've got in the bag. And it's not that I was going to win those challenges, but I had the skill set already. I knew all of those kind of things. So I knew that was going to be the downfall. But did I expect it on episode 1? Absolutely bloody not.
Right.
And that gagged me. Like, I was gagged. I thought, oh, this is it. I'm done. Like, I'm actually done. And I was more devastated because, like, and you saw the rest of the season. It's like, if I'd gone home then, I wouldn't have been able to show any of what I showed. And nobody wants to go home first. But I was like, I've worked so bloody hard and I did not expect to be in the pork chop position. I just did not.
In the beginning.
But when that music started for that lip sync, I was like, I'm not fucking going home. I can tell you that now. Like, I'm not going home. You will call security because I'm not leaving. Like, I'm not going. Like, I will sit on the stage and I will put my full weight down. Literally. And I will just let my fat ass do the work and put me in position and I'll sit here for the rest of my life. Like, I'm not going. But that's the thing for me. When the light hits and the stage is on and it's ready to go, I'm ready to go. And there's some metamorphosis, I suppose, that happens. And I think a lot of people have it where the light hits and some spirit or being comes out of you and you just can't contain it. So that's what happened. And thank God.
And you showed out.
Because I would have got like an abuse charge at the end of it because I'd have been like, no, that's not happening. I would have been throwing hands or rose wigs, one or the other.
We would have been there with you, throwing hands for sure.
Right?
You might have started off at the bottom on week 1, but you made your way all the way to the finale with top 3. And I know you said you didn't expect yourself to win. Why didn't you, believe that you were deserving of earning that crown?
Every week I thought I was in the bottom. And I think from being in the bottom of the first episode, that just put that ultimate fear in me every time we did a challenge. It was just like far out. Like, I have to either win or just be safe. And my track record ended up speaking for itself because I was really never in the bottom again, and I either won or was second in the top. So, yeah, it just kind of gets to that point where you just got to go with it, you know?
Yeah. Spankie, tell me, how was the process or your favorite part of being in the workroom, getting ready, putting yourself in drag, and going out to, the main stage? How was that? What was your favorite part of that process?
Oh, I hated that process. Absolutely hated it. There's nothing fun about that rush to the stage.
Right.
Like in your mind, when you watch it on TV, you think, oh, these TV producers, they know drag queens. We want 4 hours. We want to just chill out. If you could bring us a cocktail, maybe play a jam or something, And I think when you go into Drag Race, you think you're going to have that time. Like you do at home. Every drag queen has their own process. Some can get ready in an hour, some take 4 hours. It just depends. Do you know what I mean?
You barely got started.
So, well, the thing is, when you go on, you think, hey, I'm going to totally have all this time, and you don't. And so it's just a rush to the runway, and then the music hits on the runway, and it's that thing. You then remember, holy crap, I'm at Drag Race, and then you just hit the runway, and then when you walk around the corner and see Michelle, Ro, and Reese, you're like, oh gosh.
No, it's funny that you say that. Sometimes the time doesn't wait for anyone, or the show doesn't wait for anyone, because we know it didn't wait for Kamara Hall.
Not at all.
It didn't wait. It didn't wait one bit.
It's like, keep it moving, boo.
Keep it moving.
No, 100%. 100%.
On there, you said younger queens today see past Drag Race contestants, and that's who they want to be. That's the legend. But the legend is the person that's working in their town that made it okay for them to put on a dress, walk out the fucking door, and not get the bash. What made you say that? Do you have some tips for baby queens?
Well, the reason I said that is because it's the truth. So It's that's the first thing. The second thing is that, Drag Race has done so much great, but there is also another side of that coin where a lot of queens who, are just our local queens, all of our people, who are working out there, and it used to be kind of like when you went out, there was always some battle axe, some old battle axe drag queens sitting at the bar, and you'd always see her every time, and they are the legends. They're the ones who stood out there in the streets for us to be able to be here today. Look at the things that RuPaul has done, but she's also sits in a league of a legacy of other drag queens that sit in that world as she does. And the problem is now younger people of the community, that's their reference point. But it's a lot of these other people, RuPaul was the reference point. Oh God! There's the House of Andrews. I
think in a very interesting way, RuPaul is also still the reference point, at least in American 100%. Culture. And I think that it's amazing, to talk about Drag Race and the impact of Drag Race and the way that now drag has become such a mainstream thing, but also internationally, we're giving World of Wonder and RuPaul are giving the chances for queens internationally to get recognition, not only in their countries but also in this country.
It's so much bigger than just queens, also just us as queer people, so many identities. And I feel like, to touch on this, because we don't have this on there, in the past when there was queens who had issues that there wasn't as much representation on the screen, I think Ru had to plan all it out. It's like we had to give the masses, bit by bit, edge them off, and then bring them in when it's when we're ready to take over. And that's what we're doing. Speaking of taking over, the queens have been doing it all over the world. And you shared your tips with us. I myself am a baby queen in the making, and will have my debut someday soon when this face can get together.
I love it.
To get a little silly, we want to ask you a quick question. We want to know:
Go.
Kai kill Michelle, RuPaul, or Riz Nicholson?
Oh, wow. Okay, well, we'll have to. Oh, that's a difficult one. Okay, I will kill Reese because, unfortunately, He's way too short for me, and
Listen,
I would squash the poor guy. So it's like he would have died anyway. You know what I mean? Like I would have climbed on there, and then it would have died. So it's like, may as well just release it early. Marry Rue and Kai with Michelle because she's fabulous.
Sure.
Listen, it couldn't be as easy as okay.
That's the Jersey Queen. You can't go wrong with her.
I'm sorry, Riz. You're going down. RuPaul, I'm marrying the money. Okay, honey.
Hello. Did you just see her house on Architectural Digest? I'm just saying.
I think every queer person saw that house.
Oh my God, her house is amazing. Far out.
Together, we're like, you're rich when you can talk about the marble you have on your countertop.
Yeah.
Like,
no, do you know what? You know you're rich when you've got like 28 mirror balls just hanging out in your house. Do you know what I mean? Like the roof piece, right?
How cunt of him.
It was so hot. It's so good.
Everywhere.
Daytime disco, like just because.
I love it. I love it.
Well, he's earned it.
Spankie,
100%.
Yeah.
When you won at the watch party right after being crowned, you said, honestly, I don't give a fuck about the crown. These two girls are the fucking win because I wouldn't have made it here to the end if it wasn't for their love, support, and kindness and our
100%.
friendship. How is your
100%.
friendship with Hanaconda and Queen Kong? Amazing queens. And let me just say, down under top 3, it was so strong. And I am so glad that you guys made it to the finale because as a viewer, for the first time ever, I really felt like all the queens that actually deserve, like it didn't feel like the edit was for you. It literally felt like you guys got there because that's what you guys put into the competition. How was 100%. It to develop that friendship and what does that friendship mean to you?
Honestly, like from the girl group challenge, like we already kind of connected when we came in anyway. And from the girl group challenge, that really sealed the bond for us. That was the most fun we had the whole time. We forgot about the competition. It was just 3 girls doing a show. And there was so much drama that was going on as well at the same time with Beverly and Queen. But we pushed through all of that to be able to work, win the challenge. And that was the thing for us. We didn't care about the competition after that point because we had already won in some way because we were just having so much fun by that point. And then we got to the last episode and none of us could have cared less. Like we couldn't have cared less. We were like, I don't even give a fuck who wins. Do you know what I mean? Let's just go out here and have a good time. But like I do mean that it's the winners is the 3 of us. And yep, I won a crown. And yep, that's all very well and good. But to have 2 sisters like this, who, when you're on the road by yourself, it becomes very tiresome and very lonely, and it's a lot. It's an awful lot. People want a lot from you, but to be able to share all of, kind of my success as well as my sisters, we did this together. But not only that, we get to go further past that point together, and it's not about a separation of, oh, I won. And you didn't. It's that let's use this together to, showcase Down Under. But not only that, we get to hang out together. And we just did America, and I'm about to fly out next week, and I'll be back with them as well. So they are the greatest people on earth, and we genuinely are friends. Like we are genuine friends.
I know I could honestly see that you guys were genuine friends because when I watched back that clip of you at your crowning and you basically saying, fuck this moment, go get another drink. I said, listen, not a lot of queens that win a crown will give up their moment for friendship. And that's how I knew you were a real bitch, Spankie. Like, that's how I knew.
No.
Because
I appreciate it.
No, seriously, like some queens are even upset when you take their elimination moment away from them. So
you're right.
Drowning moment for friendship.
A true queen.
I mean, the thing was, it's like the when in that situation and you're sitting there with, we had just spent time at this beautiful apartment before. We had all of our family and friends there, the 3 of us. We all had our mums there. Wow. We were even late to the finale because we were having such a good time. And then, of course, we get to the finale, and then you're sitting next to people. And the thing is, I know how much they wanted it just as much. And there's nothing that can stop me from feeling that feeling because we're all feeling it at the same time. And then to win, all my heart and my head could think about was, how are they feeling? Like, that's shit. It's shit. But they got up, wiped me up, put tissues under my eyes, and celebrated me, and just the same way that I would have celebrated them if they'd won, you know. But like I say, the win really is the three of us still doing what we're doing, because it could have gone the other way. And like we've seen in previous seasons, sometimes you don't get this connection. It's very special, and we're very...
I'm willing to share any stage with you, by the way.
Oh God.
Spankie, okay, so I get it. It was an amazing turn. You got some good friendships out of it. But do you have any regrets from Drag Race?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Which my regrets are definitely the runways. I had so many problems with getting outfits where I live, and the time limits, and all of those kind of things. I don't have 100 fabric stores here. Like, we have 2 fabric stores in Palmerston North. I had to travel to Wellington to buy all the fabric in one day.
That's my name, Wellington.
Hey, there you go. See, the capital city of New Zealand, babes.
Listen,
you should start claiming taxes.
It looks good, right?
Honestly, you should be the poster girl for Wellington. I love it.
Spankie said it. Spankie said it.
Done. I'm gonna bring Jacinda now. But yeah, if I could do anything again, that's the regret. You know, I had a lot of issues with getting things made on time by a person. There was awful lot, like things didn't arrive until 9 p.m. the night before I had to leave. So it was a nightmare, absolute nightmare. So if there's one thing I'd like to redo and that I regret, it's definitely the way that I was presented on the runway. I could do better. Just wasn't how it was supposed to go. But it doesn't really matter because it's still paid off. Do you know what I mean? Like, but that's the only thing I would change.
Listen, baby, it didn't matter what you presented because it paid off.
I think I'm just going to wear all of my next outfits are just going to be like post-it notes. I'm just going to like post-it note of a nipple, one over the front. Done. Ta-da. Welcome.
Listen, you wouldn't call the look, take notes, bitch.
You wouldn't be the first
right?
to rely on body. We talked about Drag Race Down Under. Now let's get into some life after the crown.
So I definitely was thinking, we've seen the controversy that has been popping up recently that queens have not been getting their money. So we wanted to know, did it take a while for you to get it? And what was the first thing you bought once you did?
No, I was totally fine. I think it was cleared in my bank account a week later.
Period.
That's right. Oh, that's right.
With exchange rate as well. I'm just saying.
I know that's right.
Just saying. So, but at the same time, the first thing I bought, I think I just bought new outfits, to be fair. I think that's what I bought. Like, really, to be fair, that money has sustained the last year's work, really. You don't realize how much you need to invest at this point, and to be fair, a lot of that has gone straight back into trying to improve my aesthetics or outfits, costumes, accommodation, all sorts of things. Do you know what I mean? All sorts of business expenses that you know, if I hadn't have won that money, I wouldn't have been able to do some of the stuff that I've had to do in the last year. So I'm very grateful for that. So yeah, that was it. But the one thing I don't have, which I'll spill the tea.
Spill the tea. This is a tug. Go ahead.
The one thing I don't have, I still don't have my crown. So I'm just saying, somebody is going to get shot soon.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Like, I've got my scepter, but unfortunately the crown has been held up in customs or it's in a warehouse somewhere, and we've been working on this. So it's just a bit of a pain in the ass.
Thank you, her crown.
Like,
give me my crown, and I want the matching crown to my scepter. Right.
They better not send you no other crown.
I don't want no plastic crown.
Well,
no Burger King crown. Like, please don't do that. Like,
So I mean,
We're
now
making
now we know that you don't. That I'm mad now. Like, where is your crown? Like,
I
where is
know.
the crown?
It's
Like,
just it's just super frustrating. It's just one of
yeah,
those things,
yeah,
Yeah.
And that the other thing is, with what your question was, is that with a lot of these reality shows, I think we think in our minds, because I've done a couple now, but you think in your mind, oh, I win the competition, here is all the prizes. That's not necessarily the case. That's
right,
not how TV works.
right.
It's somebody else's job or it's a sponsor's job to send in things, and it's their job. Then they're delayed. That delays everything else. Like I just received my year's supply of makeup 3 weeks ago. So it's like, things are delayed, and yep, I think that once you win, you should be given everything that promised as a part of that. But that's just not how TV works,
Right,
unfortunately.
Well,
right,
was it a sickening supply?
right. I was just about to say,
Yes,
was it
it
really a
was.
year?
Okay, okay.
Was it really a year's
Thank you,
worth?
Anastasia.
Yes. Shout out to Anastasia. Anastasia, we're open for collabs too. So if you're listening,
Totally.
baby,
No,
Damn.
honestly, absolutely sickening supplies. So, yeah, my
aside from
friends and
your
family have
sickening,
been very happy.
Yes.
aside from your sickening supply of Anastasia Beverly Hills, what has been your favorite part of your reigning years? And I will say
Oh,
years
good.
because I feel like you're about to go into two.
I I'll take it. Like somebody said to me the other day, how was your step down look? And I said to them, I was like, well, my step down look is amazing, but I don't call it stepping down. I call it just shuffling to the side. So I'm just gonna shuffle to the side for another year. So it's all
Okay.
good.
Right, right,
It's like a
right.
side shuffle.
But yeah.
Yep, we're still there.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry. Yeah, what was the question again? Sorry.
No, I was just asking you, what was, aside from your sickening supply of Anastasia Beverly Hills,
Oh, yeah.
what has been your favorite part of your reign?
I think just all the touring and the working, and I was working in childcare before I won. I quit
Which is incredible.
3 weeks or 4 weeks before the finale,
Okay.
and I went on a solo tour by myself across Australia and New Zealand. Then I
Congrats.
went straight from there to Sydney. So to make that transition from 8 years of working with the kids to suddenly be doing professionally what I'm supposed to be doing with my life
Right.
has been the biggest highlight, because I think everybody sits here and thinks about, if we could do what we wanted to do for our lives, we'd all be super happy. You know what I mean? If
Right.
we could get paid to do what makes us happy, it would make our lives so much more richer.
Yeah.
And that's the gift I've been given. Yes, is it exhausting? Yeah, it is. Is it an adjustment? Absolutely, it is an
Yeah.
adjustment.
Yeah.
You're living out of a suitcase. You're away from home. You're always on a plane. And it sounds glamorous. It does, but it's not.
It's right.
It's really not.
A lot of
So
commitment there.
I mean, speak on it. This is Untucked. Like, what aside from what was the best part, what has been the worst part of your reign?
Fair
Oh,
question.
the traveling. Absolutely. Like, I love to travel and I love to go to a new place. It's great getting there and then doing the show. The show is not an issue. The meeting the people. It's the travel. It's the, early hours. It's, finish a show at 3 a.m., be on a plane at 5. It's
Wow.
living in a suitcase. It's being away from your friends and family, your own bedroom. Like, I'm such a boring person. Like, I'm such a housewife. I know people wouldn't think that about me, but I am. Like, I'm single, so I'm just doing it for my parents at the moment, but
And
that's
ready
fine.
to mingle, I hope.
Oh, always, babe.
Always.
Hello. Like, always. I've always got no pants on too, so it's all good. I'm easy access, ready to go.
I'm crying.
But it's those things of just doing a load of washing, or cooking a meal, or vacuuming the floor. It's
Yeah.
all those things that make me relaxed and kind of make my space, and you take that for granted. I know it
Yeah.
sounds absolutely stupid. Like, it
No,
sounds
no, no,
stupid,
no.
but
It
it's those
actually,
things.
it sounds super normal. It's super relatable, and
Yeah.
so many people do it.
No, I definitely
Yeah,
could.
yeah, totally. And then you have your Enya on, and then you light your candle and stuff, and then you sit down for your coffee and your fag, and then
Yeah.
you're relaxed. You're ready to take the day on, and just not even having those things is, that's the hardest part.
I bet those are hard to come by right now, and it's a little busy and all. But when you are in that mental state, back and ready to rock and roll, do you think you'll ever do a season of All Stars?
Oh, I would love to in a heartbeat. I didn't think that I wanted to do so soon. Like as soon as I left the show, I was like, no, I don't want to do that again.
Have you been asked?
No, I haven't. I would. I mean, obviously, because I've won.
Yeah.
My choices are limited. Like I'll probably could be up for an all winners, hopefully.
Yes,
But even that's super intimidating. So it's
come to your mind that you would like to compete? Do any queens come to mind that you would like to compete with in All Stars, even when that moment comes?
I mean, all of them. They're all like talented people in their fields. You know, like Jimbo is absolutely crazy and just like I can see that. I feel like she's going to win this crown. Like she is.
We feel it too. I'm Team Jimbo.
How it's looking.
I think I feel like she's about to win this crown. So I would love to see Jimbo there because I think, you know, we met in LA and she's just inspiring. Like she's super crazy and where her mind goes is just fascinating to me. And we are like twin sisters of the crazy. Like we really are. So I would love to see her, but I think, you know, I would have loved to have competed against Jinx. But she's now just won that. So, and she bloody deserved it. So
Queen of all queens. Wow.
Oh, 100%. So, but there's so many winners. What I'd like to see is that the international seasons start getting included in the national seasons.
We're getting there
like the lip sync assassins and stuff. It would be nice if we started getting some variety of like queens from around the world rather than just having, you know, it seems that it's all just season 14 queens.
And it's refreshing though, because I love the energy that you bring. Can you just touch on it kind of with Jimbo? Is that creativity? And we just the other day were watching a few, you know, the old season 5, season 4, and yes, drag has elevated to a new level, but it's so refreshing to see that creative like outlet and that you have been like hitting it right on the head. So kudos to you also.
Oh, like, thank you.
I really love you.
No,
I think it's so nice to me this early in the morning. Honestly,
you deserve it.
I was telling Edward prior to this interview, I said, listen, I'm so excited to interview Spankie because you were the person that I wanted that I wanted to win. So like to me, so your season aired, and then right after your season, we got All Star 7, right? So then you were the first queen aside from Aquaria in season 10 that I was rooting for all season, and actually the queen that I was rooting for all season 1. So like I
love that. Thank you.
I'm fangirling right now, Spankie. Like I love you. So I'm so happy you won because
that's so kind. Thank you.
I hate when the crown goes to the person that's not deserving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and I'm not saying that any of the other two girls were not deserving.
No.
Because if you made it to the finale, you have what it takes to be the queen. I feel, you know?
Yeah,
but
100%.
We saw you work hard for your crown. We saw you work hard to give the judges what they wanted. And there was one thing about you. There was one thing about you that RuPaul just loved your energy. And that energy you can't repeat it, and you cannot, you know, replace it. Like it's yours.
It's the F factor. Once you have it, so you can't deny it, you know?
Thank you. I appreciate that. Like me and RuPaul really did click. I think it was like episode 2. Something changed, something shifted, and we just got each other. Like when we'd have our one-on-ones, we would just be sitting there having a conversation. It was just like two people talking. It didn't feel like mentor and student. It never felt like that. But every nugget that she dropped for other people as well, pick it up, take it, listen to it. All of it is relevant. It doesn't matter whether it's for you or not.
And that's advice from a true educator. Because I want to know how does that go from being the person, you're teaching the youth, and then now you're in this new field, and like obviously you took your time to learn, and you're always learning every day. But like you are getting the tips, the advice, the tips and tricks from the one and only RuPaul, and I'm glad.
Right, 100%. So take all of those moments, and I mean, I wish we could just sit together and like braid each other's hair and like hang out and just have a cigarette by the pool, because I'll get invited to his house and all. But that's not the case.
But you're always welcome here.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, I might have to do that next time. But
next time you're in New York, we will love you in a chair next to us.
I would love to. I may be coming back to America very soon, so I would love to make that happen. Yeah.
Of course.
I do have a question while I have you here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So we did touch
Go
on
for
the
gold.
tips for baby queens.
Mhm.
I myself have been trying to get it. Well, I am getting into drag, and
Speak it into existence and speak it with intention.
I am a drag queen. God damn it!
So
you're a drag princess, but
so you know, I'm gonna have a
she said you a drag princess. Okay.
yes.
you got to earn those princess points, girl. Okay, I'm just saying, right?
Spankie, let them know that they just can't call themselves whatever they want to call
I'm a
themselves.
drag
You are a princess.
So what tips do you have? What tips do you have? Like, what is the first, like, the number one tip that you could go back to yourself and be like, bitch, focus on this part right now?
I think definitely. See, drag has evolved. It has evolved from when I started to where it is now. It's a completely different ballgame. It just the level of perfection and has changed the levels between that. But if there is one tip that I say to people, it's do you, don't be somebody else.
Right.
Don't emulate somebody else, because that's what happens now is that you get there's a million bloody, makeup videos online, and you can tell which girl has watched the same girl do her face because it's her face on your face now.
No shade.
And there's no shade about that. It's the truth. And it's like after Raven kind of hit the scene, everybody's nose looked like Raven. Yeah. And then everybody's face started looking like Raven. Do you know what I mean? So it was like, do you discover what makes you you? If you want to like draw dots on your face and have I don't know, you don't have to just be pretty. You could be a walking piece of art. Like drag has completely evolved in that way that now you can do whatever you want. Like you can be whatever you want. So don't focus on who you want to be, focus on who you are.
Right.
Be who you are.
Spankie, sources tell us that Hanaconda is actually going to be on UK versus the World Season 2. I know you can't tell me yes or no, but if she is going to be on a new season of Drag Race, how do you think she'll do?
Oh, she's amazing. Like Hannah this is why I was so gutted. Like in that moment of winning as well, it's like I was super gutted for my two friends as well, because it's like when you stand next to them, I mean, Hannah is the extreme of perfection and finish. Right. I have never met another drag queen that is so intent on the intention of the attention to detail.
Yeah.
She is so lovely and funny and hilarious. And I think she would absolutely smash it in the dick if she is on another season, because she smashed this season in the dick as well. Like we all did.
Yeah.
And then when you look at Queen as well, I mean, it's the same thing. Like Queen is such a leader of her community and such a guiding light for so many lost, people across the world. Or, it doesn't matter where she goes. But not only that, she's the most energetic, magnetizing performer and person. So, I would love to see both of them on another season, to be fair. And they both smashed it in the dick.
To smash it in the dick.
I would like to see all three
of y'all smash it in the dick.
Yep, I agree. I have something that actually just came to my head because I'm trying to be a little messy, trying to just
I love
a little
that.
bit.
Go.
Just a little bit.
Go.
So
I'm nervous.
Just go. Do it.
What did you, and this is no shade. What did you think of Anita Wigler's run on Canada's Drag Race versus the World?
Oh, wow.
I said no shade.
There is no shade. There's no shade. I think that what happened to Anita really is exactly what I was talking about before, which is that it highlights the difference in countries and levels, and the levels of drag in different countries. And I love Anita. Anita's she's a friend of mine. You know, we're family. You know, we are
Yeah.
New Zealand sisters, and she's
Yeah.
very successful, and I'm very proud of her. You know,
Yeah.
and to be fair, you know, it was her and Keita that were judging the first competition that
Yes,
TV
that you
show
were
that I
on.
won. So
Yeah.
you know, I've known them for a long, 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 long time. But I think that's what happened to Anita. There's no denying her talent and her charisma and her personality and
At all.
her warmth. You know, she is just a fabulous person to be around. But when it comes to outfits and things like that, that's a clear case of like, myself included, if I had been in that same show and I had put my outfits up against those outfits, it would have looked the exact same, which is that our level is different. And
Yeah.
the level that we kind of look at our drag is different from, I don't need 100,000 rhinestones on me. I could just walk out in a thong and a paper bag and I'd still do great. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I look at drag. So I think that's what happened, and it's super unfortunate. But she did our country proud, and she did us all proud.
And you know what? That you bring an interesting point. Does Drag Race in a way set up certain queens like against each other that it's not like, you know, it's not realistic? So it's like when it comes to the international franchises, it's kind of like, why are you not putting franchises together that have the same, that have the same
caliber?
You know that, because
but look at the Fame Games right now. Like, you could see it then and there. Like, it's not. It's
that's another point. Yeah, 100%. There's another different version, and everybody, and that's the problem with Drag Race, I think, is that everybody. I mean, I'm living proof that we bucked that trend. So that's the point, which is great about my run on the season. But is that every person's drag is different, and everybody's perspective of the level that they want to achieve is different. And when you put 10 people together, yep, okay, we know we're competing in Drag Race, so we know what the expectation is. But who set that expectation? Because it wasn't RuPaul and Michelle and the judges. It was the drag queens who thought, I need this in order to win. So then this is where we're seeing, you know, girls spending, you know, 10 grand on a dress. I can't afford that. Like, I spent 12 grand on everything that I bought for Drag Race, and I took a loan out to have that money. That was the extent I was going. I know some girls paid upwards of 40K on their clothes. I don't have that money to win no money back. Like, it makes no business sense. That's the point. It's like the girls are setting unrealistic expectations for the other contestants coming behind them, because
drag is done on a dime. Like, this is how
100%. Like, you know, that's what I was. I mean, my first time at drag, I was wearing a piece of fabric that I had stapled to me. So I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Drag on a dime, piece of fabric and some staples, done.
Would you say you like the Fame Games? Like, is that something that you would like regular season to you know, introduce that to?
I think it's a good thing, because I think this is the reality of Drag Race, and is that there are a lot of costs that we undertake. And, you know, like I said, you know, some people are in the position of being able to spend, you know, I think Mistress, I read somewhere the other day that she spent like triple digits on her outfit. So that's nearly 100K on clothes. Where did you pull this 100K from?
Right. And who's going to use it after?
Well, that's it. But also is the point is like, this gives those girls an opportunity to still prove themselves, or to still win some of that back. And it's such an intense process getting ready for Drag Race. And for anybody to go home full stop each episode is just crap, because they've put in so much effort and work, and the stress and the tears and the handwork and the hours and the you know, all of it. So I think it's a great thing, and I hope that they do keep it going. I'd like to see the prize go up, to be fair. I think 50K is a good start, but I'd like to see that go up.
I think the price for Down Under should go up.
No, don't say that, because then if they get more money this year, I'll be pissed.
She's the host and queen on crowning night. But
don't say that. They're not even getting a crown this year, because I'm taking it.
Oh my God, Spankie, thank you so much for joining us on the talk. Guys, make sure that you guys follow Spankie on everywhere you go. Spanky, tell us, where can we find you?
You
What
can find
plug
me.
everything.
Okay, so I don't know when this is coming out. So we're going to be in Townsville. We're doing from the 29th to the 2nd of July with Babs. We're also going to be at Pole Icon on the 24th of June. And then I'll be floating around Australia doing some tours. But you can find me on Instagram, Spankie_Jackson with a Z, everybody, not an S. It's a Z. I'm just saying, and if people could write my name right, that would be super cool because I'm not a Jackson, I'm a Jackzon. Okay, I'm just saying.
Period.
And I'm on Twitter as well, just under the same name. Please follow me on TikTok. I'm so close to 10K. I know that's super sad because I'm from down under and all, but I just love making fun, stupid videos. And please just watch them. If you're having a terrible day, please laugh at my misfortune because I don't know. I think I'm troubled. But please, yes, no, follow anywhere.
Well, you will get that new TikTok follow for sure.
For at least
Of
there's.
everything.
Thank
I'll
God.
make sure that everybody in this room follows you. Okay.
Right now.
Thank you. I love that.
Thank you so much again. Again, you are our first Untucked interview. So we just want to say from the Tuck, Wellington, Edward, and our team, thank you so much for joining us and giving us this opportunity to talk to you for real. Like this actually means so much to us.
No, honestly, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to little old down under me. Do you know what I mean? I'm sitting in my mum's art studio right now.
Don't even. You are
You're
down
that
under's
bitch.
reigning queen. So stop it. Don't speak on yourself like that. I won't let you.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Like, it's just that thing, eh? Like, it's just a crown. And I wish people would just, let's just remember that. It's just TV. It's just a crown. I'm not the queen of the world. And I don't need to act like that either. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm just very grateful to be here, to be able to talk to people like yourselves, or that people are even interested in talking to me. So thank you so much. And thank you for doing shows like this as well and giving us an opportunity to, show the other side of us, because it's not just all drag race and what you see on TV. We're real people with real feelings. And thank you. I appreciate it. And I know the viewers will appreciate this season too.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Spanky. And we'll talk.
Thank you so much. Peace out. Have a great time. Go and get a Beveragino. All right?
That's what's going down right after this, baby.
Hit it. Assistant, I need a Beveragino. Great.
Intern, right now. Production, where are you?
Hurry up.
Bye,
I love
Spanky.
it.
We'll see
Thank you so much. See you guys.
Bye, babe.
Bye.
Wow.
That has been the tea. Now you decide the shade.
You for real, like that has been the tea, and you decide the shade, guys. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Tuck of RuPaul's Drag Race Recap Podcast, and to our first ever Untucked interview series.
That was amazing.
That was really amazing.
I cannot wait to meet you in person, Spanky. We will be here. We have your seat ready. We have your drink on the go. And
follow us on Instagram at The Talk Podcast and on Twitter at The Talk Podcast. And if you're a fan of reality TV, make sure you follow The Reality Rundown on Instagram and on YouTube. That's where you can get this episode's video format. If you want to watch this interview on video, go on the YouTube, The Reality Rundown.